Imagine waking up one day and realizing you don't think as deeply as you used to.
All right, listen up. There is a silent, invisible threat literally hacking our cognitive patterns right this very second. It's probably sitting right there in your pocket, or maybe you even have it open in another tab right now. We all like to think of generative AI as this handy tool, right? A digital co-pilot. But recent neurological studies are pointing to something honestly pretty terrifying. AI isn't just changing how we do our work, it is systematically rewiring the actual physical structure of our brains. So welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack the very real, chilling reality of cognitive offloading. These aren't just hypothetical what-if scenarios. We're talking about documented symptoms of a brand new digital disease. Think about a convenience store cashier staring blankly at you, completely unable to calculate simple change because the register crashed out. Or an Uber driver getting hopelessly lost, just driving in circles the second their GPS drops out. Or how about a building contractor, suddenly paralyzed on a job site because they literally cannot calculate a floor's load-bearing capacity without their digital modeling software? Those foundational math skills, they've completely evaporated from their immediate recall. And guys, the stakes get so much higher than that. Picture an ER nursing assistant, suddenly deprived of their digital verification system, and they're forced to basically just guess the correct dosage for a life-saving heart medication. I mean, this isn't just a minor inconvenience anymore. This is mental atrophy with absolute life or death consequences. Which forces us to confront this really chilling question today. What actually happens when brains that are so accustomed to constant digital backup are suddenly forced to go it alone? When that digital crutch is kicked away, what is actually left of our own cognition? Chapter 1, The Silent Epidemic and the Reversing Flynn Effect. Okay, let's dive into this and look at the very first piece of forensic evidence. So, for decades, global IQ scores were steadily on the rise. We call this the famous Flynn effect. But according to cognitive psychologist Barbara Oakley and a team of neuroscience researchers, that trend has suddenly stalled. In advanced nations, we're talking the US, Britain, France, Norway, human IQ scores have actually started to reverse. And Oakley attributes this downward spiral directly to cognitive offloading. Basically, we're leaning on AI instead of our own heads. And that brings us to what's known as the memory paradox. A lot of us mistakenly think our memory is just like a computer's hard drive for storage, but it really isn't. Memory involves active retrieval, integration, and pattern recognition. When we actually do the hard mental lift, we form these things called neural manifolds. These are biological structures that are absolutely indispensable for intuitive reasoning. But as AI tools take over the heavy lifting, our brains just sort of bow out. If your default is to instantly ask a chatbot, those vital neural manifolds literally never develop. We are effectively erasing our own capability to think deeply. But seriously, why can't we stop doing this? Well, we have to look at Chapter 2, The Digital Slot Machine, and how this hacks our dopamine loop. Enter the prompt loop. Look, when you feed a prompt into a language model, you aren't just looking up a dry fact. You're triggering this intense cycle of expectation. AI is probabilistic, meaning you never know exactly what you're going to get on the other side. Is it going to be a brilliant, world-class insight or absolute gibberish? This variable reward schedule triggers dopamine in your brain in the exact same way as pulling the lever on a digital slot machine. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference here. Think about traditional tools. A calculator is deterministic. 2 plus 2 is always 4, every single time. It's guaranteed, and therefore it's not really addictive. But AI prompting? It's completely probabilistic. It's uncertain. When it fails, it creates this unresolved mental tension. So what do? You tweak the prompt and hit enter again. You are literally conditioning your brain through this compulsive, gotcha game-style uncertainty, constantly chasing the neural reward of getting a correct output. Which leads us directly into a frankly claustrophobic trap. Chapter 3, The Zero Thinking Loop and the Erasure of Judgment. Zero. In a massive study led by researcher Yiran Kui, who analyzed 120 AI conversations, this is the exact number of times students engaged in higher-order thinking when they used AI to replace their own effort. Let that sink in. Not rarely, 0 times across the board. The researchers uncovered this suffocating, closed-loop cycle of cognitive erasure. It goes like this. Step 1, ask the AI. Step 2, take the output. Step 3, ask again. Absolutely no thinking happens on the human side. You are entirely surrendering your evaluative judgment to a machine. You become a mere conduit, basically just copy-pasting text from a chatbot directly into an assignment without your brain ever actually processing the information. But what does this zero thinking loop actually physically do to your brain over time? Let's open up Chapter 4, Accumulating Cognitive Debt, and examine this haunting dossier from the MIT Media Lab. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happened when MIT researchers hooked students up to EEG monitors during an essay writing task to measure their brain connectivity. The results are frankly terrifying. The brain-only group, who used no tools at all, showed the highest, most robust networks of glowing neural connectivity. The search engine group, they showed moderate engagement. But the LLM group, the people using AI, their brains displayed the absolute weakest connectivity of all. They were essentially asleep at the wheel. And the truly scary part? The damage lingered. In a leader session, when those same MIT researchers stripped the AI away and forced the users to write completely on their own, their brains just couldn't wake up. They showed dangerously reduced alpha and beta connectivity, which indicates severe neural underengagement. Over a period of 4 months, these AI users consistently underperformed both neurally and linguistically. I mean, they even struggled to accurately quote their own essays because they felt absolutely no ownership over the work. The MIT researchers gave this devastating diagnosis a name: cognitive debt. It is the cumulative neurological deficit that you acquire when your brain scales down its activity because a machine is doing the work for you. Sure, you might get a task done a lot faster today, but you are effectively taking out a biological loan against your own intellect. And eventually, that cognitive debt comes due. So how on earth do we survive this without accidentally lobotomizing ourselves? We need a high-intensity blueprint right now. Chapter 5, Reclaiming Your Brain, and the Survival Guide. First things first, you have to understand that you are fighting human nature here. Left to our own devices, our spontaneous AI usage is deeply tilted towards self-destruction. Over 92% of the time, users just blindly outsource their thinking. Only 7.5% of the time do users actually organically engage in genuine collaboration where they push back, argue, and evaluate the AI. Natural resistance to this is incredibly rare. Good AI use has to be aggressively and intentionally designed by you. So the crucial point here is implementing what the research proves actually works. An experiment with over 1,000 students revealed something called the 2-minute cure. Here's the deal. If you let AI judge your work immediately, your brain just shuts off. But if you force yourself to spend just 2 minutes evaluating your own work first, finding your weakest point, writing down a prediction, before you ever look at the AI's feedback, you completely neutralize that zero thinking loop. You protect your long-term memory schemas because you are forcing your brain to engage its evaluative muscles first. All right, here is your everyday survival strategy. Write this down. Delay cognitive offloading. Do not go to the AI first. Force self-evaluation before you read any AI critiques. Delegate basic labor only. You need to keep the core thinking, the complex arguments, and the final judgments strictly human. Demand cognitive complementarity from your tools. Use them to enhance your mental blueprints. Do not let them replace them. Which leaves us with this final, vital reality to confront. As educational researcher Carl Hendricks so profoundly notes, the most advanced AI can simulate intelligence, but it cannot think for you. That task remains stubbornly and magnificently human. So I have to ask, are you still thinking for yourself? Or are you just accumulating cognitive debt? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.